Hello everyone, Triple Basic, welcome back to the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. Last time, we had a bit of a rough time with the previous two stages over here, though, with Night Fight and Pack Attack. And well, but in any case, though, we're going to look forward to that from here on in, though, because we got one last level here to go through here. Spaced out there, got 2 gems and a crystal to get here, though. And we got a new path by having all the colored gems with that, though. However, I'm gonna do this part a bit odd, though, because this is one of those. There's not really a good way to get both gems in one sitting, in one run of the level, though, because the colored gem pathway will spit you out at to a different exit. So there's no good way to get both. There really isn't a good way to get both gems and the crystal in one run with it, because of that, though. By the way, the blue gem pathway is right over here, though. That'll begin the pathway. So now we gotta worry. So I'm just gonna say let's just worry about the from here. So I'm just gonna say I'm gonna get the crystal in the other in the box gem first. Yeah, let's say the moment I made the jump, trying to jump on that, though, and I realized that what way things were moving, I knew it was gonna be bad. I still hate those enemies. I still hate these guys. So at least it wasn't a whole lot lost with it, though. So let's do better. All right, the arms will go back up in time for me to put that, though. All right, this part gets a bit awkward, though, because that one's always going to be keeping the top part vulnerable, though. But you got that platform there, which, by the way, yeah, those hot pipes on the side means you can't touch those sides, or you're gonna get burned up. So that's why that part was a bit rough there. All right. Okay, yeah, I wasn't sure because, again, sometimes I'm not sure if they're gonna be ones that'll actually will be like lowering the arms with it, though. Sometimes it's a little hard to tell at first. Mistime that jump there. I think I just got the extra life too. Yeah, like some of the times, though, when you get the nitros that have like oh, come on, there it is with that stupid with the precise hitbox again. And now the Nitro's gonna say, "Screw you!" And they're like, "Screw you! You're not gonna make that jump this time." And just jump at the same time I do, and just interrupt the path. Okay, I'm going on tilt now because I'm getting frustrated because the way the game's basically, because the way the game's more or less just basically saying, "Screw you." I was about to say, if that counted against me, I was probably gonna throw my controller. I am getting salty. Okay, let's watch this jump here. That time it was too late. I think that jump does get a touch tight, though, but. And I'm also always paranoid about slide jumping that one, though, because of the fact that because it's easy to mistime it and slide into the nitros. Get out of here. You know what? Let's try it this time. I'm gonna slide spin jump over this. I'm done trying to. It's time to go for. Time to pull the tricks. I'm tired of getting stuck on these parts that shouldn't be that difficult. Because, again, this stage I don't find. Like, normally I don't find nearly as difficult as the other one. As far as the other one over here, though. This bonus, however, does get a bit rough here, because you gotta have the pistons that are gonna basically try to push you into the nitro. Into the nitros. Or I can just jump into it myself because I stupidly did a slide jump. Yeah, the idea is that it's gonna try to push you into the nitros there, so. And also because of the extra height you get from the slide jump, but there's actually one of those times that slide jump actually works against you. This part, Oh, what? I jumped! I didn't hit spin! Did it count me? Did it count me? Did the slide count? I hit the jump. I hit the jump button before. Oh my goodness! Again, it's the stages that you don't expect to be the problem. That'll become the problem. It's the stuff that you don't expect to get you that happens with though, because that happened. I hit the slide button. I might have to look at I might have to check my control to see if my controller is starting to get less responsive with it though. That was my fault. I got caught up in the whole thing about slide jump, and I forgot you're not supposed to slide jump that one. That was almost too early. All right, let's. All right. I can feel myself getting frustrated. Crouch jump that one and give yourself the height needed for that one. There we go. Okay, I can just bounce off that one. I was trying to... There we go. Now we're able to do this. 2, 3, 4. I'm getting paranoid now after the stuff that's been happening to me in this bonus here. Don't care about that last hit. I don't care about getting that. I don't care about it, not getting all the fruit from that one though. I'm kind of done. Because again, I wasn't expecting this one to be the problem one. Although this is making me dread. This is starting to make me dread the. It is starting to make me dread the. Going for the other, for the color gem pathway though, because the color gem pathway is not easy. Not as bad. It's not as bad as some of the other alternate routes though, but it's still not a easy time. Yep. Again, remember you can always spin those projectiles away. But and that box right there with the crystal is kind of hard to tell, but now you see it's green. That was the nitro detonator. And well, we're done. Got all the boxes, and now it's just get to the end of the stage. And you get to leave. All right, so let's slide spin past that one, and we. I actually was a little afraid that I was just gonna drop off there for a minute because I didn't jump. So now we're good with that though. So now we can go on ahead and head out of here though. And unfortunately, because I said before though, there's not really a good way to get both gems in one visit. Though, because I got the crystal with this one here, we're gonna have to do something else first though. Because again, after you get all the crystals, it's boss fight. And then so. Crash, you may not want to be doing your dance celebration there with that, though, because I got news for you, though. You got some bad news here with this.
Yes! My plan is nearly complete, and I have you, Crash Bandicoot, to thank for it.
I'm thinking this is a bad idea.
Engine, what's happening? What's that? Is she stealing our signal?
Crash, Cortex isn't gonna use the crystals to contain the planet's energy. He's gonna harness the force and use it to power the super Cortex vortex he's built on his space station. One blast and the ray will cover the entire world, turning everyone into Cortex's mindless slaves. Crash, don't let him have those crystals.
Thanks for the heads up, Neutron.
Engine, you fool! She's telling him everything. Yes, we're back now. Pardon the interruption. Crash, bring me crystals.
I don't know if I should be doing that. But we have no choice. We have to go to the boss fight with Dr. Cortex. Big shocker, he's the last boss. Damage his jetpack to keep him from escaping. And this fight is probably my least favorite Cortex fight out of this trilogy. Few reasons. First of all, we're fighting the jetpack controls! It's not as bad here as it is in the other ones, though, because you can literally just hold down the trigger to move forward, and you're good from that, though. But yeah, but you also have but the jetpack controls is one issue with it, though. Second issue is that Cortex really isn't fighting you. He's running away. He's trying to fly away from you because he's trying to reach his space station, and that leads to issue number 3. This fight basically has a time limit. He will slow down if he gets far enough ahead, but if he makes it to the space station and you get to the end of the course, he wins, and you basically you basically will restart the fight with down a life. But only 3 hits and you beat him, and you get the speed shoes only in the remake, in the Insane Trilogy, not in the original game. This is a thing. To run fast, to hold down ZR while running. I think that's the same one to move forward, the same trigger button.
You haven't seen the last of me, Crash Bandicoot.
That's what most villains say. I'm sure that's not an ominous sign at all.
Crash, what do you suppose happened to Cortex? And what about the Cortex Vortex? It's still up there.
Yeah, Cortex is still up there. He still has a space station, so that's not a good sign. But I'm not going to leave it there. We're not going to watch the credits just yet. Because we still got 1 gem left to get. So, and because she was the one who figured everything out, I'm going to let Coco have her time in the spotlight for this one and get this last gem. And I know I feel like I've been a bit hard on her in this playthrough, though, because I feel I kind of run the whole Jimmy Neutron joke to the ground on this one with this. So pretty much anytime she had a cutscene. So, but again, it's like I don't dislike Coco. I think she was a cool addition to the franchise. That though, because like I mentioned before, this game was her actual debut, but of course she wasn't playable in the original Crash 2, though. So, but in any case, though, because she was the one that figured everything out, though, although how she managed to get things working through her laptop, because her laptop battery went down, and even sent Crash to go get it, though, I don't entirely know, but she must have gotten the battery on her own. But in any case, though, the alternate pathway here, though, this one over here, it's not as bad compared to some of the other stuff you've had to go through. But it can still be a bit rough with it, so I'm hesitating here, though, because I'm trying to time bouncing off that enemy over there, though, because there's the piston right over there at the platform I'm landing on, though, and I'm trying to time it just right to where Coco's tired of me waiting, so she's gone on her laptop. So we're through that part over there. For that one. So yeah, there's gonna be like little sections for each of the colored gems. For each of the colored gem pathways here. That part gets a bit tight. You just gotta watch the enemy that's... Okay, so there we go. Okay. I'm trying to watch the enemy that's over there. There we go. Okay. We're good with that, though. So now we got the yellow gem part now. Again, like, I find the earlier parts of this one actually a bit more, or a bit rougher than the later parts. This part's just mostly just about timing, platforming here. This part's not so bad. I probably shouldn't have gotten away with that one, though. That's actually quite a speed trick I just did there with the slide spin jump to make it so I didn't have to wait for the platform to go back. Okay, this part gets a bit awkward as well, because notice that the tile he's pretty much guarding that you have to attack him on, though, is one of those tiles that fires a laser at you. But you can always just jump over it, though, and then go from and then hit him that way. And then take him out that way. So that part just looks harder than it is. But in any case, though, one purple gem platform in the entire game, and it's just to take you to the very end of this here, where the final gem is. So Coco being the real hero of this adventure. Again, being the one who to figure out everything. Ended up getting the laptop battery herself, I guess, though, because she was able to hack everything, though. But and then getting that, and then having her get the last gem, though. So Coco saving the day once again, just like the color gems from the playthrough of the first game.
You have acquired all of the gems. Incredible. The crystals are not the only means of harnessing planetary energy. The gems have that ability as well. And with them, I can destroy the Cortex Vortex forever. Let me warp you to my completed laser installation.
Yeah, I should also mention as well, though, every time you... If you're playing as Coco and it would switch over to... Because you want to play, it auto switches back to Crash. But yeah, so now we got all the gems, so we can now ride this platform up here upward now. And this is good. And now we get to the 100% ending for getting all the gems.
We are ready, Crash. Would you like to do the honors?
Brio wasn't lying. He really was trying to use that laser to destroy the Cortex's space station and the Cortex Vortex. I think Brio actually wasn't lying, despite the fact that they worked together in the last game. So yeah, that's 100% ending where you basically destroy the space station. And of course, that's a bit of an odd way to get thrown out of it as well with this, though. So in any case, though, so now we got the best ending. Oh, oops. Actually, I'll go ahead and play this again, though, because there's actually a detail in this cutscene that I wanted to point out as well, though. Like, I actually hit the wrong button there, but I want to point this out there. Right there, there's an orange gem in this, among those gems that we get there, that we have there. But the thing is, though, there is no orange gem in this game. That was the first game. And the orange gem was the one color gem that was not reused for Crash 2. Okay, so now I talked about that a bit. I'll go ahead and get out of the cutscene a bit, though. But I wanted to at least mention that was a thing, though. For that one, though. So, what I was actually going to try to do initially, though, is I was actually going to try to go back down towards the first, back down to the first warp room for a couple things, extra things I want to show before I go to the credits. And the first thing I want to show is I want to show off those speed shoes that we got from beating Dr. Cortex and for that, though. So I'm going to go ahead and show those off, though, by doing one of the time trials. So, and showing this one here, but again, like, I haven't really attempted much of the time trials in this one, so I really don't know them that well. So I was mostly focusing on that, though. But yeah, you hold down the right trigger button, though, and Crash or Coco will run even faster than normal. But time trials work the same as they did before, though. You basically got time boxes that'll stop the timer, and you're basically racing to the end to get that as fast, to basically get to the end as fast as you can. This one, I believe you do have to. You do have to watch a start. Yeah. Okay. Good. Get on the box. Well, there goes any chance of me getting a platinum. I'm actually amazed I didn't get hit by that enemy there, because that's another one whose hitboxes get a bit precise. One nice thing, though, you can slide, spin, jump over there to skip those parts entirely, and I think that was a time box up there. I may have just completely glossed over.
Whoa!
Okay, again, at least you can use the slide spin to get over to more or less skip those sections. So yeah, I am just pretty sure I am absolutely sure that was not a platinum run. I'd be surprised if that was a gold run, honestly, though. That's probably oh, actually, that was a gold run. Okay. But yeah, relic rankings are the same as before, though. You have the sapphire, then gold, then platinum, and then of course there's also developer times, which is just bragging rights. You don't nothing with that, though. Which the developer times basically are a little bit faster than the times for the platinum. But also, yeah, you can also keep track of relics that you get as well, though. But it'll show that as well on that as well, though. One other thing I want to go ahead and show is I want to go into Hang 8, and I want to go ahead and go back onto that blue gem pathway, But though, because I just want to show something in this one. Because I do want to show something that happens in this one, and it's something that once again was something that would happen in the first game of the trilogy again as well, if you had gotten all the, like, once you finish the game though. So it's an another one of those little extra little things though. So I'll meet you ahead to where I get to show what I'm talking about. Yeah, I may have mentioned of it before back at the beginning of back when we first played this part over here though. But yeah, this spot actually is one of the points where Fake Crash can cameo. And again, once again, kind of like with the first game in the trilogy though, this one only appears. It only appears if after you've beaten Cortex, after you finish the game. Whoa! For that though, so that's the thing though. Again, like same as the first game. That's the thing with that though. So I just wanted to point out that in the Insane Trilogy though, the cameos are here in this one here. So now with that though, I'm gonna go ahead and leave the stage here because there's nothing really more for me to do here at this point though. I wanted to show that bit about the time trials as well as showing that once again Fake Crash will cameo in this game as well though. So now that we're done with all that though, that is everything I wanted to show. Like in this for this part of the game though. With that though, so for Crash 2 for this one though, so I'm gonna go ahead and go to the credit sequence to go to my final thoughts on this though. Unfortunately, the only way for me to get back to the credit sequence is to go back and fight Cortex yet again. So I'll go ahead and meet you all at the credits. And so that is the second game of the Insane Trilogy. Originally Crash Bandicoot 2: Cortex Strikes Back. I really enjoy that one. I really enjoy Crash 2 as well, though. I still think the first game is more difficult with it, though. Although the second game does have some annoying mechanics with it as well. With it, though, especially the ice physics with it, though. That's probably my least favorite part about this game. For that one, though. But again, it's only for a few levels, though, and it mostly gets really bad for like the Snow Go extra pathway and for the red gem and the death route in Cold Hard Crash. But I digress. So, like, again, Crash 2, I do enjoy this game more than the first one. Again, because even though you have like some of the physics that are a bit awkward with it though, and also I'm not fond of the jetpack controls with it though, there's a lot that this game added that was greatly appreciated though, and pretty much became staples more or less for a lot of the platforming as well though. Like, I mean, like the whole death route thing is a new mechanic as well though, and it kind of plays off the fact of the whole thing before though. You had to beat the levels without dying and get all the boxes without dying to get the gems. At least that's how it was in the original Crash game though. In the Insane Trilogy, of course, remember that was a thing they kept only for the color gems in the first game. But this time though, you got the death routes out. We basically get up to that point in the level and board the death route platform to get and you basically get a trickier pathway that leads to an extra gem, which again is mostly needed for 100% completion with that though. So it's a mechanic that I really do enjoy. I do enjoy the mechanic, even if it does get a bit tough though. But again, it's like those routes are designed to be more challenging as well. I also kind of like how they made the color gems more interesting in this one, rather than just again break all the boxes without dying, which again in the original Crash game, because that was pretty much the case for all of them the way it was set up in that one though. There was no distinction between the clear gems and color gems in that one until you actually got the gem. But in this one though, you actually had that there's like special requirements for them for getting those color gems as well, and some of them being on alternate pathways. Of course, though, I mean, like you have the red gem on the alternate pathway in Snow Go. You have the purple gem being hidden behind a fake, being hidden behind like a hidden warp and by some fake nitros, which some of those actually, speaking of which, I'm kind of wondering how you're supposed to figure some of those out on your own, because the only way you can probably figure that one out on your own is like if you just hang around that part for long enough and realize that those nitro boxes never jump, because there's nothing else distinguish them apart from the real deal, from the real nitros. So I mean, and of course then of course you have that one that was in the green one that was behind a fake wall in that one level though, where your main hit was like well, if it's a dead end here, why are all those nitros there? Like the nitros definitely aren't going to be there for decoration. But then again, even some cases though, again, when you have like a time trial though to beat to get the yellow gem though, to basically get to the end to get to the end fast enough, and then you also have that blue gem where you actually have to go through the stage without breaking a box, like basically breaking none of the boxes to get that one though. So some of those I had to wonder, like, again, some of those I had to wonder how you expected to figure that out on your own. It makes me wonder how. It kind of makes me wish they had it like they did in the Japanese version of the original Crash games, though, where the Japanese version actually did have like hints on the load screen with it, though, kind of like they do it here in the. It's kind of like how they have them here in the like in the Sane Trilogy, though, where you basically get hints with it, though. But the thing is, though, the hints in the Japanese version would sometimes end up being talking about a completely different level, like probably a level you probably already cleared by that point. Basically giving you a hint to basically, this is how I get this is something I need to look into for this part and this level here, though. Something for me to check out with that, though. And then of course you also have the whole thing with the hidden warp entrances as well, though, with the hidden exits as well, leading you to the hidden warp room, which takes you to some of the alternate pathways. Like again for the red gem and Snow Go, and then ways to get some of the other boxes and some of the other levels, of which without that extra pathway, it's impossible to break all the boxes. And then of course you all have it for like the extra ones. Well, and there's my Switch trying to go to sleep again because it's going on for so long, though. I was trying to avoid hitting anything though because I don't want the whole press the X button to skip thing popping up though, but it's kind of more or less unavoidable because the credits go on for so long. So I wish I could just put the controller down and just talk with it though, but by the way, yeah, I should also point out as well, yeah, it is the same credits for each one for each though, because it's basically going over for all three games. So that, although again, you'll be able to hear the music for this though in this little credit sequence, so you can also hear that it's going through some of the music from all the games as well, though. It's like I think I just a little bit earlier though, there was like some music from the sewer levels and the rocket levels as well. Just to name a few other ones though. That's another thing I like about this game as well, though. It's like I also really enjoy the soundtrack as well, and some of the tracks for the extra pathways, like the death routes and such, actually really has some cool remixes, like of the like cool faster remixes of that though. Again, way to kind of show you like, okay, you're on a more dangerous path here with it though. So it's like. And some of those remixes I actually like better than the original levels, though. Even though when you listen to those levels, you may have some. When you listen to some of those themes, you may have some bad memories of those routes. Cold Hard Crash. Yeah, again, I was not expecting to have a okay run with Cold Hard Crash, because I normally, even when I play as normally and try to do the path that I did on this one here, where I basically don't take the cheese path without though. I get Pidyakus and such, so I'm amazed that I didn't get it in Cold Hard Crash. I got it in other level. I got it in Piston It Away instead, which is another level I tend to have a rough time with. But I digress. But yeah, so as I said before, though, I think Coco Bandicoot was a nice addition to the franchise as well. Though having her be a bit more of the brains rather behind some of the adventures, well, although. As some of the other games will show, though, she's definitely got her own moments as well, where she's definitely it's kind of involved in the insanity as well with it, though, where she gets. But again, it's like I kind of like how she's like a bit of like a smarter version of Crash with it, though. So I like that. That's the thing with it, though. So also get to draw some more attention over to the voice work of this game as well, because yeah, this game had a little bit more voice acting with it. As well, at least more scenes with the voice acting, though, because the first game did have a little bit with it, though, but otherwise it was just mostly like the stuff on like the gameplay from the grunts and such from the characters and such in the boss fight. So it was like maybe like a couple animated scenes, but this one had a bit more with those projectors with it. Most of the performances by Lex Lang, as of course, as Dr. Cortex, Debbie Derryberry, as I mentioned before, as Coco, and then of course you also have like the occasional ones from Maurice LaMarche as Brio, and then of course we had Corey Burton voices the new minion in this one, Dr. Engine. So yeah, that was Corey Burton voicing Engine there. So again, though, just again, like a nice little bit to shout out with the people who do the voice work for the games though. For that though. So yeah, I'm trying to think what else is there really to talk about with Crash 2. Oh yeah, I do remember something else as well though. This is actually going to be the last of it for the game, for this particular game though. It's not like Crash 1 though, where there was a DLC level based off the unused level Stormy Ascent, where they basically finished the level and put it and added it in there. But there's none of that in Crash 2. So yeah, this pretty much is it. So when we go back to the Insane Trilogy though, we will be going to the third game at that point though. But yeah, again, I think I'm gonna do like I did last time though. Like I am gonna take a break from the Crash Trilogy though, to try to do some other work on some other projects. In the meantime, before I return to take care of the third game though, because these are still full games with it though. So and the third one is actually gonna be quite a doozy to 100% as well, because it definitely is more. The third one's more involved. And oh yeah, all these little time trials, like all these developer times with it though. Like I said, but these developer times are all past the platinum point of it though. But you don't get anything for beating all of those director times with it though. It's just kind of like with getting all the relics with it though. Aside from maybe adding a percentage point to your completion percentage though. Otherwise, it's just bragging rights. It doesn't actually unlock anything though. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all there really is to talk about with the trilogy though. And of course, no Bandicoots were harmed in the creation of this game yet again. And there goes my Switch trying to go to sleep again. Of course, that had to be up there when the character portraits are up there. But in any case, so I think that is it for Crash Bandicoot 2 for this one though. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this off here. So next time will be a new project though. I haven't figured out what it is yet though, but we'll see what it is though. But in any case, thanks for watching the Crash 2 portion of the Insane Trilogy playthrough.